My name is Helga Trüpel. I studied at the university in Bremen, and I closed my studies with a PhD. And I wrote my work in literature science. And then I started politics in the parliament here in Bremen. And for one period, from 1991 to 1995, I was a senator for cultural affairs and foreign integration. And my current job is to be a European lawmaker, an MEP, and I started that in 2004 via elections. We have more or less this internal election among the Greens, so you have to introduce yourself in a party convention meeting, and then the majority of delegates have to vote in favor. Otherwise, you do not get the chance to be a candidate. My main tasks are that I'm the vice president of the culture committee, what covers culture, media, education, youth and sports, and I'm the spokeswoman for the Green fraction on budget. And I'm a member of the China delegation, so that is the people or the group of people who are responsible for the parliamentarian relations to China. We have to cope with a lot of information, very different interests from different stakeholders or lobbyists. Normally we have very long working hours each day. We start early in the morning and we finish late in the evening. It's very thrilling because you have to try to understand a lot of things what are going on big conflicts, and how to position yourself and the Green group, at least with majority, so that people can identify what is the political wish of the Greens. And that means that you have to read a lot, you have to talk a lot with people, you have to understand and analyze what is going on, not only in the parliament, but of course in the whole world. For example, now with the euro crisis and so many different interests and interpretation, what is at stake, what we should do, what could be the right way. And then, of course, all this really lawmaking on the committees, which is very complicated. And if English is not your mother tongue, normally you have to do it in English. So, and then all these translations. So it's a very interesting work, but indeed it's always a challenge. I enjoy most that I have the possibility to meet very interesting and very intelligent and skilled people. For example, last week I met Austrian writer Robert Menasse because he is going to write a big essay on the European Union and its future, hopefully future. And that I enjoyed very much because he's a very nice and intelligent and politically interested guy, and normally I enjoy to have the possibility for political journeys to learn a lot, to widen my horizon. That are the good things of the job. I think you need really a political interest. You should have the capacity to analyze processes, political processes, social processes. You must be very communicative. You have to talk to very different people in different languages, not only different national languages, but in the sense of that you have to talk, for example, to professors or workers or people who come from other countries and people who are very conservative in your own country and feel challenged by this globalization. So it's, from my point of view, if you want to be a good politician, you need a lot of competences and skills, because you have to perform and you have to talk to media and you have to, you must be very sensitive and to understand problems of people. And therefore, I think it's, if you like it to do it, it's a very interesting and thrilling job where you can show a lot of talents. Oh, I would always say that it's absolutely necessary to concentrate on what you want personally. It will not help you in your life if you do that what your friend likes, because you really have to identify what is your personal commitment, your personal strengths, your personal talent, and what you as a person would like to achieve. Yes, I think it's always good if you like to go for internships to do it in different fields of society. So get a certain understanding what is the logic of politics, of course, is very helpful, but to get an understanding what is business logic as well, and maybe to go in the social field or arts and culture, because these are very different parts of society. But if you want to work on a political level, it's very good that you can combine different logics and that you can understand what is going on in the different fields. I think, for example, for politics, it's always good for here in Germany to try to go to the German Bundestag, for example, or to the European institutions in Brussels. And you can have an inside view with an internship in international organizations like United Nations or embassies, and maybe I think it's even good to go to countries on other continents. For example, one of my assistants now, he did internships in Africa, in Niger, but in Washington as well. And he worked in Nepal to teach children English. And that I think is very, very helpful when you know very different situations all over the world. I think for non-European students, of course, it depends very much from where they come. But of course, I think Europe is indeed a special place in the world, like China, the United States, Russia, or African countries, of course, are very special places as well. But the whole history, the very difficult history of Europe, the nation states and all the big wars, and especially we Germans are responsible for these terrible crimes, and the deep, deep wish and commitment to overcome all these problems, crimes and wars, and to build a common project, what obviously is not very easy, what we see in the moment, but this deep political will that we have to work together in order to build up a better and peaceful world. And that is, I think, what you really can learn in Europe, and how to deal with very different cultures, languages, sensitiveness. And therefore, I think Europe is an interesting place. It's not the most dynamic place, obviously, in the world, but it's a very interesting one. And from my personal background, because I now had the chance in the recent years to go to China and to have the possibility to compare different systems, or to go to the US and to Russia and to see what it means to live in a democracy and to be in countries which are not democratic, that's really a big, big difference. And therefore, with all the given problems in Europe, but to see what it means, and after the breakdown of the wall, that we now have the Eastern European democracies which try to recover and to build up their own democracy, that of course are very interesting and challenging processes, and I think we can learn a lot out of these transformations. Thank you. All the best to you.